So I'm sure if you're black, you've seen black nerds, or blerds in grade school, middle school, and high school. All of the above, maybe. What I want to talk about here isn't necessarily the fact that they exist, especially myself because I'm a self-proclaimed black nerd. Aside from a lot of the points that I'm gonna make here, but what I wanted to delve into here was the anti-blackness in a particular area with black nerds. And that particular area is actually preferences when it comes to dating black women, right? You tend to find a lot of black men who are in the nerd realm who don't want to date black women, and they say, the very typical thing like, oh, they're obnoxious, they're ghetto, they're loud, and, which is the same thing as obnoxious, but, they're not really consistent, so yeah, they basically say all of this bullshit, make all of these blanket statements and these generalizations. And I actually have a friend who actually who spoke to me about this, at least when I was in high school, and I'm not gonna say his name here because I don't want anyone dragging him if this goes anywhere. But you know, I remember him specifically telling me that he had an issue with dating black women, and he didn't even outright tell me. It's just like I'm smart enough and I'm educated enough to pick up on things, right? So I remember I was dating my ex, my first love, and she was African American, black, and I was just talking about her, in his house, and I guess I was talking about having trouble in the relationship. He was like, "Oh, yo, you're still dating black girls," and I was like,
The fuck?
"What?" Like it's just this is like a really strange question to ask somebody, like, "You're still dating black girls," and then he went on to talk about Hispanic girls and stuff, and I'm not even gonna get into the whole Hispanic thing, but Hispanic girls, Latina girls, which is basically in that realm, obviously, but I'm being particular. Armenian, white, just non-black girls, to put it simply. He was saying that's where it's at, and you get this a lot. Honestly, you get this a lot with a lot of black guys who are in this realm, this dork realm, this nerd realm, and they say that they're always nagged, and it's very obvious that it's a generalization, but I just find it strange how consistent it is, honestly, even with evidence that everything that they believe is bullshit, and they still have this hatred for black women, and they go to such lengths to say it. Like they date these white women, and they have to throw these black women under the bus, and these black women literally give no fucks, about them, but apparently these men want these black women to actually care, so they go out of their way to say, oh well, the foreigners are better looking and stuff like that. Like they have bigger boobs and they listen and they're submissive, and what it boils down to is like these niggas really want to push over, right? They want somebody, and it's the same thing with like predators too and pedophiles and stuff. Not inherently, but basically the same premise when it comes to somebody wanting a pushover. Like you want someone who isn't going to challenge your morals or your beliefs, your deep seated beliefs, because you think you're superior to them and stuff. So basically, and of course they'll deny this, but it's literally the fucking truth. Like there's evidence, but they want someone basically that won't challenge them. They think they'll find that in a non-black woman, right? Because what black women tend to do is when a guy isn't on his P's and Q's and when he isn't on his shit, a black woman will hold them accountable, and that's going to be viewed as nagging because guys don't want to hear it, you know, and they're like, oh, well, let me live, you know what I'm saying, I'm human, and all of this, these illegitimate excuses, and just for them to basically be complacent when they actually know that they could do the things that the woman is telling them, but they just don't want to hear it because it's a black woman and because it's like, it's true, you know, like when a black woman is unfiltered and she's like, hey, listen, you've been really, really sloppy lately, and like I've been like 10 steps ahead of you. You know, I've basically been paying all of the bills lately. I need you to, you know, start submitting them applications again because I can't do this alone. Pretty soon I'm going to be out of money and we're not going to really have food next month because, yeah, I'm even getting you clothes and all this type of shit. And then that's when the guy's going to have like a whole temper tantrum and shit. That's another conversation, right? But the point is, they think that a white woman in particular, or just a non-black person, you know, non-black woman, will basically not do that because of what they've seen in television and film, basically what's peddled to them and what's basically indoctrinated into their minds, what they choose to indoctrinate into their minds. And they just think that a non-black woman will honestly just be a pushover. Like, she'll just be happy to have a black guy because, you know, like, I know these guys are aware of the fact that white women fetishize black men. So they're going to be happy to have a black guy, but they're thinking that, like, she's just going to be like, hey, this guy doesn't have his shit together, but he has bomb dick. Or this guy doesn't have his shit together, but, you know, he's pretty cute and things like that. And they think they could just basically be half put together, right? They could be half put together as a person and get away with it. Like, they want the shortcut in life. That's all it really is, ultimately. This obviously does not go for all Blerds because, you know, there's obviously exceptions, but generally fucking speaking, there are a lot of them that are like this, and people who are educated will know what the fuck I'm talking about. But 9 times out of 10, uneducated people will probably come onto this video and probably feel hurt. And that's all I have to say, honestly. So yeah, thanks for watching.